The Sporting News Female Athlete of the Year is Caitlin Clark. In 2024, Caitlin Clark provided a wealth of answers. Inquiries from internet trolls, detractors, players who are or were not involved, and of course, the media that was present. The question that cut to the core of Clark's influence on basketball for future generations was asked during her final press conference as a college student. Clark was prepared to take a moment to consider her legacy, which is full with innumerable unforgettable events, shortly after Iowa's 12-point defeat to South Carolina in the NCAA championship game on April 7. Your trip thus far has been amazing, particularly in light of the historical audience. What would you say to young people who are currently aspiring to be like you? I would say I think the biggest thing is this is what I kind of said about my entire career is nobody really believed other than myself, Clark stated. I believe in confidence. I believe that young girls should just have confidence in themselves, and young boys should have confidence in whatever they wish to become. Following the defeat to South Carolina, Clark resumed her remarks on the platform by paying homage to her parents, Brent and Ann, and her childhood in Des Moines, Iowa. I think that was the thing that my parents instilled in me from a young age, Clark stated. I was never told or no, they refused me other things, but not the things I wanted to accomplish, who I wanted to be, or the objectives I wanted to pursue. Clark remarked, "You've got to say it requires effort on your part. It must be earned. No one ever wants to give you anything. I've put a lot of effort into getting to this point. That's the source of my confidence. I would advise the younger generation to follow such guidance." You can explore all the reasons why Clark is the 2024 Sporting News Female Athlete of the Year if you divide that response into 3 sections. She had a profound effect on basketball at the collegiate, high school, and youth levels. As her WNBA career develops, that influence will undoubtedly persist. Clark guided Iowa to the women's national championship game for the 2nd consecutive year. With 3,951 career points, she shattered the NCAA scoring record and averaged 31.6 points per game. Clark made her WNBA debut with the Indiana Fever, scoring 20 points just 6 weeks after her last game as a college student. She went on to lead Indiana to a postseason appearance, set a league record for assists, and scored more points than any rookie in WNBA history. When talking about how her influence altered the rules of women's basketball at all levels, the expression, the Caitlin Clark effect, became popular. Clark became the face of the marketing machine for companies like State Farm and Gatorade, and ratings reached previously unheard of heights. According to Kristen Cook, Chief Agency Sales and Marketing Office at State Farm, "Our marketing data demonstrates the powerful reality of women's sports. They are a powerful, digitally savvy fan base and with a loyal and balanced viewing audience," said Sporting News. "We have been making investments in women's sports for 20 years because it makes financial sense. Both as a player and as a person, Caitlin is unique." Critics tried to discredit Clark along the way, according to Lisa Bluder, who coached him at Iowa before retiring at the end of the previous campaign. "I guess you're really good when people try to find fault with you all the time, and you know she went through that like people were trying to find fault in her when she did nothing wrong, and to me that kind of shows why you really made it," Bluder stated to SN. "She, honestly, is a tremendous human being, and that's what I wish that people could see is not just the great basketball player, is not the great student or whatever, but she's just a really good human being, and we need more of that." Caitlin Clark and college basketball's expansion. Bluder, who coached Iowa women's basketball for 24 seasons, had the honor of seeing Clark in action every single day. Bluder had the opportunity to watch the very competitive college student who was a fantastic teammate both on and off the court, even if Clark is a genuine professional when it comes to press conferences, media commitments, and commercials. With good cause, that is the aspect of Clark that is acknowledged to be guarded. You know that she is amazing and intelligent and mature, but she's also this goofy kid that really likes to have fun, and you know you don't get to see that unless you're around her all the time, Bluder stated. "I had the good fortune to witness that aspect of her." Naturally, Bluder was also astounded by how widely felt Clark's presence was. In March, rapper Travis Scott watched Clark shatter the NCAA scoring record from courtside at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Bluder told SN, "We're at Rutgers in early January and there are people who have driven from Canada. Everywhere we go, There are people who have signs that say they have traveled hundreds or thousands of miles to watch this child play, or they have even traveled from other countries. But Bluder notices a difference, and it's a significant one. Clark accomplished more than just start a fad among collegiate basketball acolytes and celebs. I think that she's impacted the game as far as the growth of young girls wanting to play, Bluder stated. But I think also little boys in the way that they look at women that are athletes is different now. An incredible 12.7 million people watched the Iowa vs. LSU national championship game in 2023. 18.7 million people watched the 2024 national championship game versus South Carolina. Over the summer, the WNBA saw a similar spike in viewing. Even from some of those LSU and South Carolina supporters from the previous 2 seasons, Bluder emphasized time and again that Clark brought joy to the game. Bluder noticed that in October as well. On May 15, 2023, Iowa hosted an exhibition game against DePaul in the open air at Kinnick Stadium, which drew 55,646 spectators. When you consider that, you realize that there were ladies in the stands who were crying because they couldn't believe this was happening for women's sports. That the game was altered by us. We altered the national perception of women's sports. In 2023, Clark shared the Sporting News Athlete of the Year award with Angel Reese of LSU. In our publication's history, Clark is the first female athlete of the year. Women's sports did not get widespread recognition due to the Caitlin Clark effect. Rather, it guaranteed the continued success of women's sports. And all you have to do to find evidence is to look past the WNBA and college basketball's glamour. The next generation of high school and middle school athletes will determine how much of an impact Clark has on the sport. The effect of Caitlin Clark on high school basketball. Clark understands the importance of contributing to her community. Through her nonprofit, she distributed over 300 Nike bags to students at Des Moines North High School in August. Additionally, she paid an unexpected visit to the school, which, according to North Athletic Director Chad Ryan, has the most proportion of free or reduced price lunches in the state. I just think she's a tremendous ambassador for the game of basketball and for young women, Ryan stated. She is having an amazing impact on the Des Moines area. In Iowa, it's kind of strange our top basketball programs are doing incredible, but then our bottom-tier basketball programs are struggling with numbers, he stated. We're talking about how Caitlin Clark affects high school involvement. My personal opinion? Ryan posed a rhetorical question. The Caitlin Clark factor we will see 3 to 5 years from now at the high school level. North sophomores. When more girls choose to play basketball this season, Markia Wesley and Haley Weinheimer noticed a shift. A team with only 3 returning players benefited from that. One reason was the way Clark looked at the school. According to Weinheimer, it really inspired more girls to come out, because they may not believe they are as popular for whatever reason. Some females may feel ashamed or decide not to come out and play basketball. I believe Caitlin Clark's influence stems from the fact that she inspired and encouraged many young girls to start playing basketball. A few summers ago, Weinheimer met Clark at an Iowa basketball camp, and she joined the expanding horde of fans who have been at Carver Hawkeye Arena for the past 2 seasons. Despite being an Iowa State supporter, Wesley found herself cheering for the Hawkeyes and trying to replicate Clark's jump shot. I think she's given more confidence to young basketball players, Wesley stated. It seems to me that Iowans don't receive as much recognition. She definitely boosted the confidence of these females, especially the younger ones. Maya, Leah, and Tess, Ryan's 3 kids, are also avid basketball fans. Over the past 4 years, he has witnessed the phenomenon in real life while visiting Iowa games and witnessing their joy. We're getting a lot more first-time players, Ryan stated. I used to coach boys basketball at the high school level, too. You will need to start it within a year or 2. It has aided us with numbers and will continue to do so. You must now teach them how to play. Even at the highest levels, Clark's influence has been noticeable. Addie Deal, a 5-star guard from Mater Dei High School, has committed to Iowa and will play for the Hawkeyes the following season. Deal will undoubtedly have an impact in the Big Ten and was prepared to make the long trek from Southern California. Deal said the Des Moines Register, "It's definitely nationwide now. Everyone is familiar with Caitlin Clark. Iowa women's basketball is well known. Therefore, it's been incredible to watch them sort of spearhead the movement for women's basketball in general. I have to witness them before, during, and after they continue to rise, and it's very awesome. The effect of Caitlin Clark on youth basketball. Last year, over 28.1 million boys and girls under the age of 6 participated in basketball, according to Team Insight. Millions of parents, including George and Amy Sorg, take their daughters Addie and Ava to sporting events on the weekends, along with their son Andrew. Ava and Addie have grown to be enormous fans of Clark. For the past 2 seasons, the Pickerington, Ohio, family has been to the Iowa-Ohio State women's basketball game. Addie remarked, "I've been watching her for 4 years. My parents advised me to locate a team, research them, and develop a strong admiration for them. I discovered Caitlin at that point, after she had passed away and been shot." Addie currently plays basketball in the 7th grade, and she talks to her teammates about Clark's influence on the game every day. Addie remarked, "We talk about her a lot. The other day one of my teammates hit a deep 3 and the 8th grade coach comes over and said, 'Way to pull that, Caitlin.'" 5th grade is Ava's year. Ava practices whenever she can while sporting a "From the Logo" t-shirt. She sees the incredible passing ability and imitates Clark's follow-through on her shot. But it's Clark's simplicity that she finds most admirable. "She dribbles with her head up," Ava remarked humorously. "And she is not a ball hog." George was talking to Ernest Marshall, the father of Iowa guard Gabby Marshall, at the concession stand line on January 23, 2023, while the Sorgs were at the Ohio State-Iowa women's basketball game. After that, Ava and Addie had the chance to meet a number of Iowa players when Ernest welcomed the Sorgs to the Iowa reception area outside the locker room. Neither Addie nor Ava approached Clark. Instead, Clark went up to them. She walked over and asked, "Do you guys want a picture?" just as we were about to approach and request one. Addie said, "We were ecstatic. It was quite fast. I couldn't tell if it was a dream." Whether the young players were wearing Clark's jersey, Ohio State's scarlet and gray jersey, or their youth basketball league uniform, it made no difference what color they were wearing. Making the rounds in a genuine manner was something Clark made a point of doing. Every WNBA victory this season, every tournament stop, and the Big Ten all saw that scene play out. For Clark and other aspiring basketball players, there are innumerable special moments like these. Her impact across the entire sports landscape has been historic, yet she has remained humble through it all, focusing on inspiring the next generation and so many others, Cook stated. The Sorgs were forever changed by that night. "Women's college basketball is really for families," George stated. "They are growing the game through fan interaction. I was so incredibly happy that my girls had a chance to meet their sports idol," Amy stated. On and off the court, Caitlin Clark is one of a kind. Whenever possible, Caitlin Clark shares the spotlight. What message would you like to share with those women who helped blaze this trail to have women's basketball shining like it is today? Was another version of the legacy question that Clark was asked on April 6, the day before the national championship game. It is not limited to those currently participating in the college game. It's all of the people who have gone before us. Furthermore, it's not just women's basketball, in my opinion. The WNBA is benefiting from all Clark did for women's collegiate basketball. Clark has maintained his composure despite all of the tiring arguments that have taken place this summer, from the fight over Rookie of the Year to the Olympic team snub and everything in between. Was she the WNBA's best player? No, that honor obviously went to Aja Wilson, who had a record-breaking season with averages of 26.9 points and 11.9 rebounds per game. There is still time for Clark to claim a championship, even though she didn't win a WNBA or national crown this season. Her marketing prowess brought the WNBA into the public eye, where it will remain for years to come. Clark has proceeded to get more endorsements as a result of his success. She has maintained her enormous fan base and status as an almost reluctant superstar throughout it all. When it comes to fame, time and time again we see that in some of the biggest moments of her career, she's refrained from the spotlight to shine a light on her teammates and those around her, Cook stated. She is a living example of what it means to help Behind the stellar basketball player is a high-character leader who has inspired countless people, young girls and so many others in her community and globally, she stated.